other wall.
Thank you for having me. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here. I must say I have sort of this odd role today, and I'll blame Leslie, it's Leslie's fault. She said I could be the heretic in the room. So my job today is to sort of politely, if I can, tell you when I think that maybe some of the conversations that went on the last couple of days were maybe not quite accurate, or maybe when you're talking about throwing out the bathwater and keeping the baby, I might tell you that you might want to throw out the baby and the bathwater. So my role is sort of the person who says the emperor has no clothes on. So I thought, well, I better dress for the role of heretic, right? Black leather seems only appropriate. So if you decide to burn me at the stake at some point, or over the grill outside, or over one of those lovely outdoor fireplaces, it'll take a little longer to burn, or be a bit smellier or something like that. But anyway, so thank you for having me, Leslie, and thank you for giving me permission, FMI, to be a little heretical today. So the subject is retail heresy required. Are you ready and willing? And if you don't, what are the consequences? You know, I thought it might be a bit of a challenge to sort of get everybody in the mood for this. And I am usually the eternal optimist, belying my black leather. But then I realized yesterday when I listened to John Lewis and the panel talk about the issues around center store, actually it seemed there was no real conversion that would be required. A loss of $23 billion sets the groundwork for us all to be heretics. When that's occurring to the core part of our business, and in reality it's not just about center store, it is about the whole store. So when we think about that, I think we all really understand the fundamental need to challenge every precept, to think about everything we do, and to think about it in the context of just because we've done it, as Laura said from the Des Moines Register, just because we've done it for all these years, do we still have to deliver it the same way? I would suggest to you all that we can't afford to do that. So in addition to $23 billion, the thing that struck me over the holidays was, you know, another reason for absolute heresy. I mean, we went into the Christmas selling season, those of us in this room, those of us in the fashion businesses, those of us in the department store businesses, in any business, with tremendous projections about the opportunities that were going to come out the sales. We began the year, and if you look at began the season, just after Thanksgiving, we saw more evidence of strong retail sales. By the end of December, we were talking about retail sales rebounding and beating forecasts. The week after Christmas, the week after New Year, all of a sudden it said, December sales weaker than expected. What the heck went on there? What happened to shoppers in that moment in time from the beginning of December to the beginning of January, where everything shifted? What's going on in this shopping world that we all live in, and how do we figure out how to get through it, how to get past it? Well, I'll tell you, the only way we know how to do that is to follow the shopper. And I think Laura said that today. We've got to follow the customer, or we've got to get ahead of the customer. I have to tell you, if you get ahead of the customer, it's often dangerous territory. But for some 25 years or so, our focus has been around sitting on the shoulder of the consumer as shopper, understanding where she and he will take us or let us go, where we have permission to fit into their lives all day, every day. That's what we do. And so in our work as retail strategists and shopping futurists, the role for us for the last 25 years has been literally to sit on her shoulder or his shoulder and watch how they choose to live their life and where we can fit into it. And that's some of what I'm going to talk about today. I'm going to talk about the heresies. I'm going to be the heretic. I'm just going to lay out gently, sort of, I think, maybe, don't light any matches yet, this notion of the things we have to put aside. And then I'm going to tell you a little bit about why we have to do that, about some new shopper truths. I'm also going to talk about a flat retail world, and I'll explain that notion that we have been working through for some time now. And then I'm going to be really presumptuous and talk about some things that I think might lead to success in this world where heresy, if it doesn't reign, should reign.